On this channel, I've shown you how to set up your own cloud gaming server. I've shown you how to do it on AWS, and I've shown you how to do it on Azure. But what about the third most popular option, Google Cloud Platform? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you in today's video. I'll show you how to set up a cloud gaming server on GCP and how to connect to it via Parsec. So I'm using Parsec for this video because since the previous videos I've made, they have really improved both the quality of their streaming as well as the latency and performance. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't follow these steps and then use Moonlight, especially if you want to game from iOS, but in my opinion, Parsec has become the superior option, at least for now, and so that's what I'm going with. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So here we are in the Google Cloud page, and the first thing you need to do is link an account for billing to your current project, which in my case is called TechGuru. Without that, none of this will work. Once you've linked your billing account, you can go to the hamburger menu and go to Compute Engine. And from here, we'll need to enable the Compute Engine API. So this lets us actually create VMs in our Google Cloud account. So we'll just wait for this to be enabled. It could take a while. Once it's enabled, the page will refresh and you will be shown the VM instances page, which as you can see right now, obviously is empty. So next we'll need to enable our GPU quota. So we'll go to IAM and Admin, Quotas, and then we'll need to filter because there's a lot of stuff here. So first we're going to filter by Compute Engine API. Here we go. And then we'll filter by GPU. And then we'll filter by all. And there should be GPUs all regions. And one loads up. So we'll click it. And now we'll click Edit Quotas. And we'll set the limit to 1. Now in here, type a description for why you're requesting the limit increase. In my case, I'm being honest, I'm telling them I'm making a YouTube video and I would like to show people how to do this. Now remember guys, these quotas need to be approved by a human being. In my case, this quota was approved in a matter of an hour, but in your case, it could take a little bit longer. Luckily, this is something you only have to do once. Okay, so then click Done, click Next, and provide your details. You'll need to put in your phone number here. Then click Submit Request, and wait. You'll receive an email when the quota has been approved.
1 hour later.
Okay, so once our previous quota request has been approved, we now need to submit another one. This is for the NVIDIA T4 GPU. So we'll go to IAM and Admin and then go to Quotas. And from the filter, we will search for committed NVIDIA T4 GPUs, which is the first one there. And now we'll need to make sure to choose the quota pertaining to the region we're going to be using. So in my case, I'm going to use Europe West 3. So I'm going to choose that region. Obviously, guys, choose a region that is closest to you. So in my case, I need to find Europe West 3, which is here. And then I'll say from upstairs, edit quota. I'll set the limit to 1. And again, I'll type in a description. You can use a description which is the same as the description you gave for the previous quota. Okay, we'll click Done. Now we'll click Next. And like before, we'll need to provide our phone number. Okay, so again, it can take from an hour to a couple of days for that quota request to be approved. But once it is, we'll have everything approved to start actually building our system. Okay, so now that both quotas have been approved, we can actually start the process. So I'm going to visit the NVIDIA Gaming PCs Marketplace page. The link is down in the video description, by the way. And what we want to do from here is click Launch. And we'll need to enable some APIs here, so I'll go ahead and click Enable. Now, the first thing we'll want to do from here is make sure that the zone matches the zone where we got the NVIDIA TV4 GPU quota, which in our case is Europe West 3. Okay, you may need to choose a different zone. So look at this. If I choose Europe West 3A, you'll see it says to select NVIDIA TV4, select a different zone. Okay, so I'll keep switching until I find one that offers it, and apparently Europe West 3B in my case offers it. Next, under machine type, we'll choose this guy here, N1 standard 4. This comes with 4 vCPUs and 15 gigs of RAM. Now, of course, you can choose others. I mean, they keep going up, but I think that this basic one here should be more than enough. As you can see here, it says GPU type, NVIDIA Tesla T4, number of GPUs 1. We'll also need to configure the boot disk. In my case, I'm going to choose SSD persistent disk. You can, of course, go to extreme persistent disk, but in my case, I'm going to go with SSD. And I'm going to set the size to 250 gigabytes. You can, of course, make this larger, but that requires yet another quota increase. There are some more settings here, but we don't need them. So we can go ahead and click Deploy. Okay, and as you can see here, the server has been deployed. Now, the next thing we'll want to do is to open the ports that are required by Parsec through the firewall. So from the hamburger menu here, we're going to go to VPC network, and then we'll go to firewall. Now we're going to click Create Firewall Rule, and we'll give the rule a name. I'm going to give it Parsec ports. So here from the source IP ranges, we'll enter 0.0.0.0/0. That basically allows traffic from any IP address. And then I'll say UDP, and I'll say 8000 to 8010. Now, in my case, I'm also doing it for TCP, because honestly, it's not entirely clear whether Parsec uses TCP or UDP. I'm pretty sure it's UDP, but opening these TCP ports is fine anyway, so that's fine. Click Create, and we need to give it a tag here. So I'm going to call it just Parsec ports, and we'll click Create. And as you can see now, the firewall rule is being created. Okay, so that was created. So now back in the burger menu, we'll go to Compute Engine and go to VM Instances. And we'll click on our VM instance. We'll click Edit. And in the Network Tags field, I'll type in Parsec ports. So this must be the same as the target tag that you chose when creating the firewall rule. And we'll click Save. Okay, so now that that's done, we'll go back to our list of VMs. And from here, we'll say Set Windows Password. Now, as you can see, Google suggests a username, which is my name. Let's change that to Tech Guru. Okay. And set. And this is the password that has been set up. So I'm just going to copy this and temporarily save it to a text file. I'll then add this to my password manager, and you guys should do the same. Okay, so now that that's done, we can go ahead and download the RDP file to connect to this instance. So from remote access here, we'll say download the RDP file. And that has been downloaded to my system, to which I should now be able to connect. I'll change the username because that's wrong. And I'll use the password that was set. Okay, and here we are logging in to our new instance. Okay, so when you log into the server, the server manager will open. So one thing I like to do so I can actually use the included Internet Explorer browser is go to local server, go to IE enhanced security configuration from here, and disable it, since that's just a pain in the ass to have to deal with. Okay, so now we can open our browser. And next we'll go to the Parsec Cloud Preparation Tool. The link to the preparation tool, guys, is down in the video description. Okay, so now we will copy this code where it says start here. And then we will open Windows PowerShell. Okay, and we'll just paste the code in PowerShell. Now the script will run and it will automatically carry out a lot of stuff, such as installing a browser, installing audio and video drivers. Also, it will obviously install Parsec and a lot of other stuff. So we'll just wait for this guy to finish. Okay, so at this point, Parsec has launched and some driver is being installed for Razer Surround. And at the same time, the the Cloud GPU Updater is running. So in the GPU Updater, we'll press yes to continue. And we'll say yes again. Now, when the Razer utility finishes installing, you'll be asked to log in, but you don't actually need to do that, so just go ahead and close it. Okay, so as you can see here, if this is your first time running this script, please make sure you sign into Parsec before rebooting. Okay, let's go ahead and sign into Parsec then. And you'll receive an email asking you to verify signing in from a new location, which we'll approve from here. And so now we should be able to log in. There we go. And so from here, when asked to reboot the system, we'll say yes. Okay, so the machine should have restarted by now. So we'll connect again using RDP. And here we are, back in the machine. Okay, so now I'll launch Parsec on my computer. As you can see, the computer shows up in my Parsec. So I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect from RDP. And I'll connect using Parsec instead. Okay, and here we are connected to the machine using Parsec. Now we'll open the NVIDIA control panel here by right-clicking on the desktop. We'll go to change resolution, and as you can see, we have currently a 4K resolution of 3840 by 2160. Okay, so we're running this at 4K. Okay, so now that we're connected to the machine, there are some things we can do to improve the quality of life. So we can set up auto shutdown to make sure that the machine shuts down when we're not using it. So let's see, how much time should the system be idle for before shutting down? I'm gonna set it to 45 minutes. So if I'm idle for 45 minutes, the machine will automatically shut down. And I'm also going to set up the 1-hour warning. Remember that you're charged for this stuff, so it makes sense to set this up. Of course, these are both optional. Okay, so now we can actually get some games here. So I'm going to download and install Steam. Here we are in Steam, and we can start downloading and installing games. Now, of course, this being Tech Guru, what else am I gonna install except Doom Eternal? So I'll right-click to install it. And I'm just gonna pause the video right now and get back to you when Doom Eternal has finished installing. Okay, so Doom Eternal has been installed. Let's go ahead and play it. Okay, so I'm having some trouble recording the audio from the system. Nothing to do with Google though, just my screen recorder as usual. But let's set the video settings to 4K. And let's see here. Everything else should be, yep, Ultra Nightmare. Okay, let's apply the changes. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, and here we are. See how this goes. So far, so good. Remember, the new Parsec is a huge improvement. Okay. You can see up there that there was some connection lag. But that is caused by my Wi-Fi, actually, guys. Not by, and it's not definitely not Google's fault. So let's see here. Okay. And the final guy here. Yes. All right. So I accidentally pressed the button on my mouse there and tabbed out of it, but somehow still managed to destroy that guy. So basically, yeah, you can see that it's working fine. I mean, there are occasional stutters, as you saw there, but that's caused by my Wi-Fi. And remember also that I am running this in 4K resolution, which is, of course, asking a lot of the internet. But yeah, this seems to be working just fine. So there you have it, a cloud gaming server using GCP. You may have noticed that actually, compared to the AWS and Azure videos, this might actually be the simplest one to set up. Now, that being said, in the AWS videos we used custom scripts to reduce costs, and in Azure we used a different storage account again to reduce costs. Whereas here on Google Cloud Platform we're going quite vanilla. If you have a new Google Cloud account, you may have credit in your account, which means your first few hours of gaming are actually free. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you're into this whole cloud gaming thing, be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. I've made many other tutorials on setting up a cloud gaming server on AWS and Azure, as well as comparisons between Moonlight, Parsec, NiceDCV, and so on. So there's a lot of stuff for you to watch. Until the next video, thanks for watching.